Hey everybody, EXP here, Sean. I'm driving to work. I just uploaded that video that I had taken probably over a month ago after I had a strike and removed videos and whatnot after I started making videos after years. I mean, I might have had a few deer videos and a couple visual videos. My first video back, the one I said I'm back, where I was explaining my situation and where I've been and my health problems. I've uploaded that to BitChute, and I have a description, and I'll be keeping a description in the links in the a link in the description. Sorry, I'm out of it today. My disease, I have RA, rheumatoid arthritis, very, very bad. Fibromyalgia, ME, CFS, IBS, other problems, and sure they were underlying for a long time. I just thought they were injuries, and then I moved into a house trying to flip a old farmhouse, and I got mold poisoning, extremely bad, and I think it put everything into high gear. I mean, it's a poison and trauma and life and stress and anxiety, and I had issues with alcohol and drugs in the past. I was 10 years sober, and then for 3 years I drank hard when I was mold poisoned, and I'm almost 3 years sober now, but I was feeling pretty good for a couple weeks, and I think I overdid it, and I'm just out of it a little bit. I'm hurting really bad, and no sympathy, so I just letting you know where I'm at. I want to bring awareness too to RA and fibromyalgia and mold poisoning as well, eventually. But I was upset when I got the strike, and I know I have to talk in code, and there's certain words that get flagged and whatever, so just bear with me. If you like the content and what I'm saying, and it makes you feel not so alone, or you learn something or whatever, that's awesome. And if you don't, just switch off the channel, or if you want to leave a bad comment, go for it. Thumbs down it and think I'm crazy, that's fine. You're only hurting yourself. It's called denial, which is a natural instinct of the mind and body to protect itself from trauma. Anyway, I'm driving to work. It takes me an hour to get to work one way. I live in the woods now, which I love. Got deer and everything in my yard all the time. But, I'm out in the country now behind some truck with no exhaust, and it's awesome. It smells great. Also, I uploaded that video, which I had shot for a while back. Obviously, you can tell I'm shaved and stuff. I got some pictures of me when I grew my beard the longest I ever did. I mean, it was ZZ Top. It was crazy. Even my hair, I let grow long. And I'm bald, but I'm gonna have to put a picture up to show you guys. It was insane. I let my beard and stuff grow for like a year and a half. It was huge. Pain in the ass, so it made me look about 20 years older. But I'm just rambling. I've got so much to say. I always talk about the 33 and the importance of it, all the hoaxes. I don't deal in so-called conspiracy theories. I deal in facts, and I break down hoaxes and psyops. That's what I do. And if I'm wrong, then I say I'm wrong. If I learn new information, you have to change my opinion or the way it really is, and I do so. Ego, you gotta drop your ego. I used to have an ego when I was younger, and it's not about being right. I wish I was wrong. I really do. But it is the way it is. It's a scripted reality we're living in. It always has been. It's controlled by people, beings, entities, who knows, beyond closed doors, and then we see the puppets, the Masonic puppets, who they give us as just characters to run the so-called world. They're all on the same team, Republican, Democrat, you know, and they cause diversion and division and, you know, a false sense of choice, and, you know, votes don't count. They just take that information and process it and see where everybody's at. Everyone's pre-selected. They're not elected. You're just wasting your time. And why do I do these videos? I'm not going to change anything. Nobody's going to change anything. I'm not a paranoid person either, and I'm not gung-ho. When something's wrong, I can't hold my tongue. I gotta say something, and especially when I was the biggest patriot ever and used to beat myself up for not going in the military, and that's a whole nother subject. War and military, bad things do happen, but the official narrative is not even close to what was portrayed on the news, which is completely controlled by the one world government. It's part of it, just like Hollywood. Get movies and they plant the seed in your mind. It's predictive. It's programming, you know. It's predictive programming. It's subconscious programming. You know, you see a movie about Saving Private Ryan, and that's how it went, right? If you do any research on anything as an actor, I think in 3 or 4 minutes you find out that there's some problems wrong with it, but they say based on a true story and they go along with it. So what does that tell you? They're all in it together. Some of them are more compartmentalized and not in the know as much, and you know, as time goes on here, you know, it's becoming a lot more in our face, and between the music, and that's another thing, the music, the truth in all the music, and the psyops that go along with that, and it's intertwined with Hollywood and politics, and it's you know, more voices to be heard to get to different, you know, demographics, people, younger people, this and that. They get you one way or another. All these people are related as well, from Lady Gaga, who's a dude, and, you know, they're related to the Clintons, and then to the Obamas, and to the Kennedys, and to, you know, Madonna, and, you know, all these fucking people, you know, Kate Bush, and, you know, I believe is a woman, but a witch, very, very, very deep engrossed in all this satanic, Freemasonic shit. They tell you all the fucking truth in their fucking lyrics. Some of the groups don't know they're handed it down by Tavistock. Some of them are more in the know and are part of it in a higher group, either be it Masons or Eastern Star, the supposed real female division of it, or the DMLA, where the children go from age 12 to 21. How about that? There's your 33. Dan Rather was high up in the brainwashing of the DMLA kids. How about that? They all are, man. Anything on TV is bullshit unless it's your local story in the news in your local town. Anything national is fake. It's all scripted. It's all there for a reason. It's all pre-planned. Sometimes they have to change things up, but it is what it is. You know, the events in New York in 2001 changed a lot of things, and that was planned out long before they even started building, which, you know, they stood for 33 years. Basically empty buildings with some government fronts on the lower levels, and the upper level was for sightseeing. The middle was empty. It's all made for that. Very patient people, hand down from generation to generation to get keep the job going and keep the psyop rolling, keep everybody in fear and division, and control the society and shape it in the world and the economy, all through fakery and lies, fear, division. Yeah, some bad stuff has really happened. Some war, people do die, but a lot of the times it's just fictional, false narratives, and not even close to what they say. And numbers are majorly inflated. Like I said, a lot of people are compartmentalized, but it instills things in people's minds, though, too, especially young minds that are easily manipulated. I got a lot more to say on that. It's a touchy subject, and my son's in the military. He is awake, but obviously, he's got emotional ties to things because he's part of that system, and I don't like to talk about certain things that may upset him. The official narrative compared to reality, and so I'll save that for a later time when I can put it in more eloquent terms. I know I'm not the greatest speaker, and I kind of am all over the place, especially now with this disease, and it messes you up. And no, I ain't got none of the fake, what do you call it, nonsense that's been going on for the last couple of years. What happened to it? Well, it'll be back, but Putin scared it away. All Freemason brothers. No countries have their own sovereignty. The world's a stage. It's all an act. There can be some things that do happen. People do lose their lives certain ways. Friendly fire, accidents, people in other countries not liking it and picking up arms and defending against bad things that bad soldiers do to another people, and under the influence of a false story, creating and generating hate. I'll save that for another time. I'm leaving descriptions, links in the description for my BitChute channel. I just started it. It's got my first video back that I took down called I'm Back. And I'm going to re-upload all the one that was stricken down here, and the other ones that I took down just because I figured it would probably get this channel taken down. So, and even though BitChute and all the other platforms are starting to really censor, you do have a little bit more leeway right now. Take advantage of that and play the game. And about starting a podcast on Spotify as well, and they're cracking down on that through, how they use the MISINFO excuse, and they use people like the Roe Jogans and the A. Jones, aka Bill Hicks. They use them as an example as to why things are being censored more or whatever, and it's really because of real people like me and others that speak real truth, and that's just an easy avenue to explain it away, the reasoning why they're tightening their strings, so to speak. Shout out to a couple people, Jamnoise72, I appreciate you, thank you. I can't remember the name of your channel now, brother. It's Colton Buddha. I saw your comment, thanks, brother. I hope you're doing well. You're a big influence in me, and I know I may have let you down in the past. There's a lot of stuff going on. Didn't get to stay in communications with you, and wouldn't mind reconnecting. Also, Babaloo72, man, I didn't know that comment you left about the Saturday Night Live after the events in New York 3 weeks after the first show back, and Paul Simon singing Boxer, and they're all singing lie, 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 lie at the end. That fucking blew me away. And that's I didn't know that particular piece of evidence, whatever you want to say. So thanks for bringing that to my attention, and thanks for being you and sticking around, man. I see you kind of dropped off for a while and just started some videos. I need to watch them. Where's a cop? I need more money. Let's see. Jefferson T Rowe, Tobacco Row. I know we may not always agree on everything. For the most part, we do. And you were a big influence in my early days. You explained to me how it works, the trolls. You made me a personal video and then you took it down. And I asked you about it and you re-uploaded it just so I could see it. And I actually downloaded it. I still haven't watched it, and I love it. And how you told me how, you know, how it all works, and you got to have thick skin. And you told me, if you troll me, I'm gonna troll you. And I love that. And I've used that, and it really does work. Really shuts them up real quick. Gosh, I can't remember the other names, you guys. I appreciate you all, and I read all the comments. I don't have many. I'm not out for 1 million views. I ain't here to be a YouTube star. I've seen since I started posting, I lost over 10 subs probably because they don't want to hear the truth. People that even supported me, I'm fully awake now. It took me a while. My earlier videos, I wasn't fully awake. I was on the journey. A lot of people give up or get confused, and I see how it all works now. And it's called an auto hoaxer, like other people were. Because what is everything fake? Yeah, pretty much, man. Everything you see that's pushed is. And they're all in on it, man. At one point, or another, they all run together. They might have their own social circles and whatever, but they're all in the same game to pull the same tricks on everybody, and they have to. I'm a big, I study all research. I say research, this is a term that people make fun of now. It's thrown around loosely, and you research, you're conspiracy theorists. No, I do real research, man. That's all I do. And I do watch certain people. Some people, there's another piece of advice, if you think somebody might be a shill or a gatekeeper or whatever, there's still some truth in the stuff they say, so you got to use your discernment. Take the good and leave the bad. I've learned things that way. If you're real truth, you pretty much agree on everything. Everybody might still hold on to certain things, be it certain beliefs, this and that. Jesus being one of them, and religion. That's division. Jesus is a thing, but it's not what we think. It wasn't a person. It's bloodline. And that's another whole nother story I've just been learning about. Alternative history is very, very interesting. There's channels out there that you should look into. Martin Liedtke, Flat Earth British, UAP and the UAP channel, John Levi. Check his stuff out. There's a couple more. A lot of people have their issues with certain people, and they may not even get along. But Bitter Truth, he's the real deal, man. It's hard to find on YouTube. He's on BitChute and Spotify and Anchor. But you're not going to, it is what it is. He speaks the truth, man. And I know there's beef between certain guys. RV Truth used to be Russian vids. I used to think, I didn't know. There's maybe one or two things I don't agree with, but everything else, he's spot on, and the way he puts it is, there's no denying it. Mag too, he shows you the truth. See, I don't sit here and show you screen share. I need to do that. I don't have much I'm in the woods. I got hot spots and some other things, so I might try and do some screenshots. Because when you show somebody, it helps. And just listening to somebody say something, you know, they just say, oh yeah, right. Because nobody follows it up. Anybody should listen to anybody or does any research or watches anything. Gets, you know, you should go find out for yourself. Take it to the next level and verify. Alternative history, I mean, you know, of us not being here as long as they say, you know, probably a couple hundred years, rediscovering the old buildings that were already here and built by another people, Tartaria, Phoenician, you know, basically Roman Greco is all over, everywhere in the world, orphan trains, you know, the foundlings, you know, they call them Freemasons because they found all these free giant buildings made out of mason. They have controllers, and who knows? I call them Phoenicians. They could be not completely human. No, it sounds crazy. They're of the water, people of the water. It's all, and that's, you know, they use the guise of Romans or Greeks, but that's Phoenician. Their trademarks are everywhere, all over the old buildings. There's no way the old buildings could have been built like for the World Fairs and expositions in the amount of time and the manpower and the technology and horse and buggy. There's no way you can do it. And not all of it was just fake facades and torn down easily. I mean, they removed a lot of the old architecture to hide the lies, but they saved some of it for Capitol buildings and art museums and whatnot. And, you know, they like to mock, but they lie, and they like to remove. A lot of war is just removing our old architecture and proof of previous, you know, civilizations, realm, before major cataclysmic resets happened. Direct energy weapons, I call fasces. You know, I know we live in an electromagnetic universe, not universe in planets, but universe in like inside of our enclosed realm, flat Earth that's stationary and grounded, and, you know, whatever. There's no space, but there's other ideas of creator Earth, and we're like part of a bigger Earth, and the moon may be a reflection of our bigger Earth, and there's other tons and tons and tons of other biosphere worlds that like we have in other areas, and we may be able to travel in between them, or who knows? Is that what NASA's really doing? Because we know they're not doing what they say they're doing. I've got so much to say. I've got so many pieces of evidence. You know, all this, if there was real, you know, in a real court of law, and if, you know, federal groups were real, I mean, this shit would all be exposed, but it's not, and that's they're part of it. So that's, you know, I mean, all the evidence that I can and others can put forth, I mean, it's cut and dry. I mean, conviction, boom, but you can't hold people that are in charge of everything responsible for anything. Plus, they have a law, HR 5736, they keep re-signing in, that it's propaganda law, the something Months Act. You got to read through the whole thing, but it talks about how, you know, they can put propaganda on their own people via Hollywood, movies, TV, politicians, magazines, newspapers, whatever, and that's what's being done. It's like Wag the Dog, the movie. They put truth in movies, lies in the news, and then you have movies that are based on true stories that are just painting a picture in everybody's head, and it's fake. So, you know, I mean, you got all the predictive programming and the what do you call it? Programming in your brain. You don't even know what's happening because you're watching it, and then later you accept it. All the mocking, and it's in everything. Every TV show, every movie, every cartoon, every book, every novel. All of it, man. It's there. The coding, the hoax code, the 369 code, all the 33s, the 23s, the 911s or 119, and 23 is interesting because you can be 3 twice, 33. It also adds up to 911, 2001. You add those up, zeros don't count, and it comes up to 23. It's a big one. You get the numbers every which way. I already talked about it. Signs and symbols and numerology rules the world. They can communicate without even saying anything. I don't know. This is 25 minutes already. I'm on my way to work. With so much more to tell, and I know I repeat myself because I can't remember what the heck I've said. And this issue with strikes and videos being taken down is aggravating. I don't want to miss anything I've said. I believe I did an experiment myself that you do see on some of the videos on it. Actual experiment on the old FACE diapers, and the results that I found were terrifying, and that's just one aspect of it. Imagine what this up here does, and what the spear in the arm does. It's not good, guys. And I don't want to expound any more on that right here. That'll be for BitChute or Spotify until that shit gets shut down. But yeah, I wanted to go into more details on everything, on my conditions, diseases, on truth, on certain subjects, death faking. I want to go through the whole JFK thing, how that was done. Characters, how they play multiple people, hyper realistic, prosthetic, rubber, silicone, masks. It's insane. People playing multiple characters, or after staging one's passing, as David Bowie's ex-wife, had talked about how well he stages passing. Then comes back on a TV show as Jack. What was his last name? As a record producer that knew him, but it's actually him. That just with a little bit of Hollywood makeup and looks different. Just like they did with Michael Jackson and Dave. I mean, these people are sick. And everybody loves these people. And they believe their real lives are real, and those are fake. Everything's staged. The world's a stage. It's scripted reality. Jack, what was that guy's last name? Shit, you can look it up. But on Joan River, she played several characters as well. I'm finding out Anne got caught after supposedly dying, out with her so-called friend Clive Davis, and she played another character with the name of Silver, last name Silver, and supposedly that's Clive Davis's cousin. I mean, it's crazy, man. All these alternative so-called truthers are fake. A lot of them are people who have staged their passing and have done prosthetics or have had facial work done to become other people and push propaganda and confuse people. River Phoenix being one of them, Mark Dice, and who else? There's so many of them. I can't think. Alex Jones and Bill Hicks, Jim Morrison, Rush Limbaugh. He's a 2-time death faker. All their connections to Laurel Canyon, high up military people, and they all talk government crap before they die. All these people in the 27 Club? Is that what it is? They all died same age, same ways, and It's just ridiculous, man. There's no coincidences, especially in an investigation. It's not a thing. And there's hundreds and not thousands of coincidences. Who else? Jonathan, God, I can't think. He played in that movie Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield, and then some other movie or some show with Roy Scheider. Jonathan, can't think of his last name, but he plays a guy named Adam Kokesh, and he's a fake alternative. And that sure does sound like David Koresh, doesn't it? They like that shit. Them play on names and similarities, and like your Osamas and Obamas, and we got a Vladimir and another Vladimir. And oh yeah, the Ukraine Prime Minister was appointed, 19 before all this goofiness started, and he was an actor on a TV show over there who played that president, prime minister of Ukraine before he was. Just like we have actors who are presidents here. They're all actors. They're all characters. Some of them lifetime actors until they retire from public or removed from the world stage and used in another way, or simply retire from earn their wings, so to speak. A lot of them have to do humiliation, rituals. Everything's a ritual. Anyways, I'm going to stop there. I got to get some food, and I'm just rambling, but I wanted to say that I ain't going nowhere. I get discouraged. I know there's nothing I can do about it, but I have a voice, and I'm gonna speak, and that's just all there is to it. So, I know I ruffled some feathers telling the truth, and people who were subscribed to me, when I talked about, like Let's Go Brandons and this and that, that's all a psyop. If you participate in any of that, you're not learning anything, because there's no sides. There's no sides. They're all together. You need to understand that, and it's a hard truth to swallow. But much respect to everybody. I appreciate you, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.